and welcome to A Filthy Talk, a Filthy Lots weekly live panel discussion show coming to you live from North Vancouver on the traditional territories of the Squamish Nation. We'd like to recognize the privilege to work, play, and create on these beautiful lands, and we encourage you at home to comment either live on Twitch or in the comments on YouTube with the traditional territories that you are on. If you don't know, look it up. I'm Trevor Gemma, this is Roz Young, and returning as Starship of the... Starship? Wow, captain of the Starship chat room is Astra.
She can be anything she wants.
Yeah, you can be a starship. We believe in you. If Misha's a helicopter...
Oh, maybe that's my Halloween costume.
You
Sure.
be a starship?
Why not? Yes, let's do it.
Could somebody kill the music and props?
I like the idea of being Starship of the captain chat room.
Yeah.
You know?
Did you have something you want to talk about for nerd news?
I want to talk about remastering GTA.
Okay.
They're doing it.
Rumor.
Rumor that they are doing a remaster of the first three? Four?
First three? So, like, what's
Yeah.
that? That's Vice City? Mm-hmm. And San Andreas?
And?
Grand Theft Auto 3. Yeah. Yay! What do I win? That's kind of cool. I don't know. I feel like those aren't old enough to remaster. I'd like to see some remasters of some like.
Have you looked at San Andreas lately?
No.
It doesn't look good.
I'm just gonna, since
It's
you're
just
talking,
polygons walking around.
Matt Baker and Tim Rutherford are here with us today.
Yeah,
Thank you guys for
I
joining
can't
us.
help but just jump into conversations.
That's okay.
So.
Yeah, screw it. Let's do wider spectrum nerd news. In fact, do you guys have anything that's like new in the like nerd world that you want
Exciting
to talk about?
things?
Off the top
Under radar?
No.
No?
I told Roz to talk about GTA.
Oh, there you go.
Has everybody played a Grand Theft Auto game?
Yes.
Yes.
What's
I
your
think
favorite?
I think I've only ever played the first and then, well, sorry, not the first. Like
You
not
played
the-
5.
Nope. No, I have played Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City and a bit of San Andreas, and that's it. So.
All
Well,
I've played is the actual very first one.
Oh, wow.
I bought in
Like
high
top
school.
down?
Yeah. And Grand Theft Auto 5.
Whoa.
I tried Grand Theft Auto 3 in San Andreas, and I didn't like the controls. I was just like, no, I'm out. This car drives like crap.
Yeah, that's
And it's just frustrating. But Grand Theft Auto 5 is awesome.
Oh, I also need to mention to the people at home that our internet is also spotty. So if you are watching on Twitch, I don't know what's going on with our internet lately, but there's a chance that this feed goes down. Bear with us. We'll get it back up as soon as possible. And if you miss anything, you can check it out later on
If
YouTube.
it's raining, we have bad internet because raindrops, and electrons
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Yeah. Our
And if it's
internet-
sunshine like today, photons and electrons.
Oh, I forget
Just too much information.
Yeah.
Yeah. All this cosmic radiation, it interferes with our internet radiation.
We really choose our radiation around here.
It's so fun. But why this panel today, Trevor?
Good question. You know what? I forgot what my nerd news thing was. I lost it. It's gone.
Well, that's
Damn it.
good because I've already thrown to you to talk
Yeah,
about
that's
today's
fine.
topic.
So today, we're talking about the possibility that this is not really happening, that we are in a simulation. Or maybe this is really happening. Who knows? Simulation theory. And everyone here besides me is a DM and creates NPCs, and also might be an NPC.
You would be the NPC?
Not to, oh, my brain's already broken.
Yeah. But the point is, the only thing that is confirmable is me.
Yes, to any of
So
us.
you're an NPC.
Yes.
Wait,
to you.
But okay, so what are your favorite movies where this has happened? Where the world is fake until someone realizes, or
13th floor.
13th floor. Oh, yeah.
Interesting. Why is that your favorite?
It just had no money at all and a really, really, really great idea. Like it predates The Matrix, like right before that drop, the 13th floor came out and everybody was just like, oh, damn.
I mean, to be fair, there were a lot of things that predated The Matrix.
Right,
That
of course.
And so,
It wasn't
Ghost in the
particularly
Shell.
I mean, I would
original.
love it if this episode became a bit about how much The Matrix is dumb.
You're dumb. Matrix is awesome.
Well,
I mean, I feel like
Agree
that's
to
a pretty
disagree.
solid argument. No, we're gonna save the Matrix
vividly
argument.
remember my first time seeing The Matrix in the theater, and I was literally on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
The other ones,
No, the first one's the only one I really enjoyed.
I don't
third one
hate
is
the
the
other
best.
ones, but I find them boring.
I know that Alen and Kedrock really want to get into this with you again because we touched on it in an episode forever ago. And they want to do a whole episode about it, so we will.
Okay.
But today we're talking more about like as technology advances and the fact that virtual worlds are becoming so much more believable. A lot more people are starting to say like maybe this is just all like
A lot more crackpots sure are.
Sure, but saying that it seems more statistically possible that technology has already gone through the advancements that we are experiencing, and that
Yeah.
we are actually living a simulated world.
Those are crackpots, not statisticians.
Sure. Ash, what's up?
We have a redemption for So You Think You're Real, huh?
Oh,
Prove
I
it.
should have set those up. Okay, so I mean, it sort of explained itself, but Roz has prepared a couple of like you. accused me of
Mandatory
being-
fun!
Yes, mandatory fun. You have accused me of being an NPC, and Roz has devised some ways for us to prove that we are not. In fact,
Yes.
just
You can't.
NPCs.
I disagree with you because you're dumb. So the
That's
point
just
of
what
these,
an NPC would say.
Right?
The only confirmable thing is your own thought. Everything else,
we'll get
is
into that. But
possibly
step
fake.
one, you need to confirm for me that you're real, and I have scoured knowledge, history, and time to come up with some extremely challenging questions to prove that you are not, in fact, a simulated human being living in a simulated world.
I'm really good at picking out street signs. Let's do this.
Yeah.
not a
Okay.
robot.
So here is your first question. Please play along at home to find out if you are also indeed real. So you need to pick from this list of options available to you the correct ranking of these burgers from disgusting to delicious.
Oh.
Number 1, the KFC donut sandwich, followed by BK's upside down Whopper, McDonald's blueberry McGriddle. Number 2, the White Castle cheese slider, KFC double down dog, or the Arby's meat mountain. And number 3, McDonald's India's chicken Maharaja burger, the BK Halloween Whopper, or Taco Bell's waffle taco. Now, these are all, in fact, completely real in the current version of our reality as we know it.
Okay.
I've never tried any of these things.
Yeah.
I'll tell you,
had the-
three
I-
easily.
wait, double down
If it's
dog?
ending in most delicious Taco Bell,
Yep.
we're done.
Taco Bell waffle.
So no
taco?
matter what, Taco Bell needs to take the top slot.
Yeah, it needs
So
to take that.
you
Like the
would-
blueberry McGriddle is definitely not the top slot.
see,
Like,
you
let's
know,
talk.
Honestly,
there.
I'm like, Arby's, that rules that one out. Taco Bell, I've never had anything from Taco Bell. It
Really?
didn't give me diarrhea.
Well, we're not talking about the after effects.
Yeah.
That's a
Versus-
huge part of what makes something disgusting.
It's part of the overall experience, but the moment, like the gratification you get while eating it, it is delicious.
Yeah, we're
It
talking.
is
You said something
designed to
about
be delicious.
statistician. Like, let's just
Okay,
measure
so,
what's
so
going
delicious versus
Burger King is also
How real?
garbage,
Yeah.
and KFC, I do like the taste of, or at least I did when I was a kid. Now it's gross, but
What,
Yeah,
so what are your answers, team?
I agree with Tim. I think 3 is the only reasonable
I
answer.
love Taco Bell secretly, but less secretly now.
Way less secretly.
Halloween is my favorite time of the year, and Indian food's usually pretty good.
But McDonald's
especially
is
when
the
it's
key
quick.
word there.
Yeah, well, you know, I've never been to McDonald's India. Maybe it's like a hot spot. I don't know.
McDonald's is the only one of those places that I would even consider eating.
Oh man, not even
Really?
White Castle.
I hate. I've never been to a White
Oh,
Castle
yeah,
or
no, they're-
even seen one.
It's evil, but you know,
it
at
looks
that
disgusting.
time, yeah, when you're like ready to go to a cardboard cutout of a castle for something to eat, you know, it's the best
Walked
choice.
into an Arby's and
Yeah,
I think I walked out.
Speaking of GTA San Andreas and eating too much fast food,
It's obviously a trick question. They're all bad.
Oh my God, that is the correct answer.
Oh.
You are in fact real. You're in fact real. So
Oh.
we've all been defining the options available to us only by the information provided. Right? Which means we are, using the reality that I've given you as a definition of what is
No,
available.
I was responding to the exact question that you asked me.
The
So
context.
anything other than that answer is wrong.
Oh, but is it real?
I mean,
It has nothing to do with anything. You can't prove that any of this
you?
stuff is real or not real. That's why it's so fun.
these questions themselves don't make any sense because you're comparing lists of 3. None of them have the same thing on them. You can't
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So, as far as like, I know that. I mean, if you're just saying like there's those crackpot people, that's not possible. You don't believe it's at all possible that this is a simulated reality?
It's absolutely possible. Everything is possible, but like it is. I read a bunch about it today,
Okay.
and it is pseudoscience hokum. It literally is like relies on the assumption that we are living in a simulated reality to prove that we're living in a simulated reality.
Right.
It is complete baloney. It relies on these. If these
Yeah,
three, if one
that's
of these three options is true,
Burgers.
then we probably live in a simulated reality. And two of them are like, no.
Oh, you're going with the actual
and-
like simulation hypothesis.
Yeah,
With
the
him?
actual simulation
Yeah,
theory.
that
And then
thing's
the third
stupid.
one is like assuming that there is, a post-human race, like whatever we go into that can do this, then we probably are in a simulation. But that's stupid because if they're post-human, they're after us. So it's most likely that we are real and they're later. Right? Like we can't they can't have existed without us actually existing.
Sure.
And being
So
real.
Or without a version of this existing, then they exist, and then we are the simulation. I think is the idea of it.
yeah, that's
How that
totally
took
the
thousands
idea.
of hours I've put
But
into
they're like,
civilizations.
it's a 50-50 shot that and it's like, no, that is still an astronomically small chance that it's, time, as far as we know, doesn't work like that, although time is a construct because you're all fake. I'm the only real person here, so I literally struggle with that sometimes. Like,
That's fair.
That
I mean,
was a
but
really
that's-
interesting thing when we
it
started
makes
talking
me
about
uncomfortable that stuff happens that's not part of my consciousness, and I forget that it does a lot.
I don't think you're alone there. And I think that it's actually maybe more common for people to get so wrapped up in their own world that they forget about other people having this full range of experience that they're having, because you can't tell that they are.
I don't buy it. It's the world ends at that wall. Everything is just rendering what's in front of me.
Including your theory about not everything being a simulation?
I said it was possible. I just think the likelihood is that it's not, but also that's just because, I don't really want my shrink to see me talking about how I think everybody is not real. I have enough problems. I don't need
The
to
shrink
load
is
that
very
one
real,
on.
and the bills are even realer.
Yeah, hey, their programming is still going to help you.
But Tim, do you ever struggle with the idea of, are the people around you really real?
No, definitely I struggle with the am I an NPC? Because my primary goal is to help other people succeed in life, and I'm just wow, I'm really not doing well for myself sometimes. I don't think it's a question of are they real or are they in a simulation? I don't really adhere to that kind of mentality that anybody else could be less important than I could. That it's just only if I, paid some dude with a backpack at a big party to feel that way have I ever really come to that conclusion.
That's another thing about the experience of the world is definitely defined by our brain chemicals.
Yes.
Which
you can
is the
alter.
thing more likely to me, not that you people don't exist, but that everything about the world is not necessarily what it really is, because it's all just filtered
What do
through
you
my
mean,
brain.
you people?
Yeah, exactly. I get the most ridiculous deja vu frequently where I'm this
He
is
really
definitely...
does. Entire conversations, we'll get to the end of it, and I'll see the look on his face where I'm like, you think we talked about this whole thing before? And he's like, yes.
I have that too.
I'm convinced that I when I dream, I touch parts of the future.
Yes. Okay, I do too. No, I have.
Yeah.
I
Time
have.
all exists at once,
I
and we
have-
just can't perceive it that way. But in our dreams, our perception is different. And so sometimes we touch on it and it just seems like a dream.
I have
until it
precognitive
happens.
dreams all the time, but they're fucking useless. Because it's never even like something as important as like, oh, what should I say on this show, or like lottery numbers or something. It's like I'll be having a conversation about like roast duck, and then I'll be suddenly having a conversation and go, whoa, shit, I dreamed this. And I get deja vu, but it's because it's from a fucking dream. Because I remember my dreams.
Yeah, it's friggin' useless, like Nostradamus. You're like, that doesn't help you
useless.
predict anything. It's only afterwards that you're like, oh.
Yes! It's totally useless.
That made
I
sense
hate
if
it. I
you
wish it was
mix a
useful.
lot of that up. What?
What? I have precog dreams all the time. I do, and they're useless.
Just went to Minority Report, like,
Murder! It's never once been anything that significant. Yeah. That's what's so
you like
frustrating.
starting
about
your
it.
car, it working, and then you like going into drive, and then the dream's over.
It would be more like a squirrel goes by and I have to stop the brakes suddenly.
Oh, right.
But like I react and do it anyway. It has nothing to do with the fact that it's happened before until
Right,
after.
It
yeah.
could just, that
What
could
it
just
sticks
happen
out
a
is
lot,
that
though.
I often remember waking up and being like, why did I dream that?
Did you
That's such a
simulate your own reality to incur that to happen?
Probably. And I'm just like, why would that combination of events ever have gone together? And then someday,
It happens.
You know, I'm like, this is weird. Like, I have sat here going, why would this happen? And it's weird that it's happening.
Yeah.
If you had a nickel
and so-
for every time it happened,
I'd have
except that it's happened way more than twice. I've
Oh,
had
yeah.
a lot of nickels.
I would have
I mean, it's still only like $20.
I'd have
but-
20, somewhere between 20 and 50.
a lot of nickels doesn't really add up.
It doesn't
Fucking
really
dreams
add
are
up.
useless.
Yeah. In today's economy,
Yeah.
if I had $50 for every time. Okay, but the thing you were just saying about NPCs, like
Right.
thinking you're an NPC, the question I never hear discussed about anything of like, is this reality real? Is if this is a simulation and it's just indiscernible from like what we perceive as real life,
Right.
I never hear the question discussed of am I in a simulation
Yeah.
or are we in a simulation? Like,
Well,
are
I mean,
we
like the source of
plugged
the
into
theory is undoubtedly like the privileged people like feeling less privileged than they think that they should, so they found some great secret and they've unlocked it, and they are the only one that knows. This is like the fundamental to so many conspiracies. Is all based on this like narcissist concept that others would be there to serve you, but they're not doing a good enough job.
I would buy that if their opinion is only that they think they're plugged into it and that like everyone else is an NPC, or that
Right.
some of us are plugged in or we're all plugged in, then they think then it is a thing of self-importance. But like you're saying, if we're NPCs, like if even our ideas of self and our like we're just really, really well programmed NPCs that have free will, that have full. Like I was sitting and I was leaning on my leg earlier, and my leg started to get a little numb, and I was like, oh, I should shift. How like if that's part of my programming, that's like a crazy attention
Well, it
to
was.
detail.
You did it. Your brain is like genetically programmed
Yes.
in ways to conserve your limbs.
That's true. But if I'm digital,
Right, you wouldn't
Then-
have that problem necessarily, but it all nevertheless comes down to like whether or not the system that runs us in this simulation is limited in any way. Because the theory of like, are we and how can we find that relies on the fact that there is no, like there has to be a limit to it so we can find it. Everything about measuring things relies on the limit of something else or the effects of another limit on this. So if there is no limit to it, we could never ever know. And that's where the 50-50 comes from, is just how could you ever prove that in a system that would never let you prove it?
Yep.
Because rule number one was they can never prove it or create it themselves, because if they did that, collapse.
also
that Rick and Morty episode is amazing, where it's like if you created the reality, then you find out about it, and then it doesn't work anymore for you, so then someone else, you go into
They'll
another
create
world.
a reality
Yeah.
to work to
Yeah.
make their own batteries.
You know,
yeah.
the batteries
wait.
episode.
Oh, but that's not a simulated world. That's a mini.
Yeah, but still, like realizing that you're in a world that to you doesn't matter, which I think is the same idea, but like if it's fake or not, and we're living in a simulation, I don't care.
If we're living in a situation, we're all essentially just really complicated AI interpreting the world the way we do through, how we've been structured to program it, or programmed to interpret it.
To a virtual brain, all reality is virtual reality.
Yeah. And it's why I love
Floating
hallucinogens.
Sorry, what?
It's why I love mushrooms.
But like,
because that is
chemicals
what
that change your brain.
It's
Whoa,
they don't
Ash.
change your brain, but they make you realize how much of what you think is real around you is just the chemicals in your brain telling you that.
Yeah.
And
Fully.
so, there's lots of great, there's thousands of years of philosophical discussion about this sort of thing and what is reality, and is reality just like similar to liquid in a bowl where it just fills the holes that are there and the gaps, which I believe was Kant. But my favorite of these stories is, and I wish I could remember the name of the philosopher, but
We have a fact checker.
ancient Chinese guy. But it's I dreamt I was a butterfly.
Shang's.
Zheng Ji?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Zhang something.
Yeah.
I keep
not
thinking,
sure of my
I keep thinking
pronunciation.
Zhang Yimu, which is why someone needs to look it up.
Shang-Su?
Pardon?
Shang-Su? Does that sound right?
That sounds right.
Okay.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
But the idea that he had a dream that was so about being a butterfly that was so vivid that when he woke up he was no longer convinced that his reality was true because he thought he was a butterfly, and while he was dreaming that, it was absolutely true. So what is the dream?
That guy was
Is he actually a butterfly dreaming of being a human, or is he a human dreaming of being a butterfly?
But only the advanced sentience of a human could consider the process of truth.
But,
According
everything
to this
is
part
true.
of reality.
Everything is true to a butterfly.
well, we don't know that.
No one
We don't
suspects
know.
the
Well,
butterfly.
they got a pretty good idea of like what the capability of a brain in like the charge of it, like what it's like perceived reality. Like they see beyond color, beyond like wavelength of light. They feel, they smell, they taste with every part of their body. Like it's nuts. Like their perception of what reality is, we could never perceive. So the fact that he perceived he was a butterfly, to me, ends the conversation in the fact that he was a human thinking about being a butterfly, and
Only
not
because you're in the human
experiencing.
dream right now.
Right, that's true. Yeah. Are we're all just an ant's dream?
And that brings us to the
Single
allegory
ant
of
just
decay.
waking up like, for the queen!
Plato.
And like back to work.
Yeah.
If all you've ever seen is shadows on a wall, you're not going to know what 3 dimensions are. Like,
Oh no, but that also ties into the idea, like the ideal horse. The fact that we all come from the ideal world, and even when you're born, you'll still recognize the silhouette of a horse, regardless of it being like seeing an actual horse. Because we all
Do
like,
you? Because
That's straight up not true. I've met people that have lived in the city their whole life and go into the country and are shocked by what a cow looks like.
Yeah, but those people are idiots. Ash your hands up.
Babies are idiots too. Have you seen that?
There's another redemption for Roz's fun question.
Oh,
Oh, fantastic! Because
Okay.
you guys did such a crap job last time.
what?
Yeah, you're all fake. So when we want to find out,
Says the robot.
are you real? Ooh, good point.
She is a robot.
Cyborg from the future?
Literally could be. Yeah, who knows? So there's a good Futurama episode that talks about
zany.
this kind of stuff, and I thought we could make it a little bit more about concepts that are a little bit beyond fast food burgers.
Okay.
So this time it's about the question of love.
Oh.
So what is
Chemicals,
the best
yeah.
way
One of my favorite programs.
to show someone that you love them? And I've given you 3 options, and from this list, it will help determine whether or not you are real. The answer is not none of the above, which it was last time.
Oh.
So this time, number 1, is it chocolates, wine, and a hand massage? Massage.
Well, who are we trying to show that we love them? Because for you, it's absolutely proved Fermat's last theorem.
Number 2, a trip to IKEA with Swedish meatballs and ice cream. And number 3, proof for Fermat's last theorem, yes.
Could I
what is
ask
the
for
answer?
an explanation of Fermat's last theorem? Because I'm an idiot.
Not from me, but it's very hard.
Oh, okay.
And the person who did do this won the equivalent of a Nobel Prize, but in mathematics, where apparently Nobel Prizes, you don't award them to math.
No, it's for chemistry and physics and poetry.
So
Yeah.
it's like
No one gives a shit about mathematicians. I don't want to be in a room with a bunch of mathematicians.
I have been in a room. We played
And
chess.
do you still go in rooms full of mathematicians?
I do not.
Yeah.
And I lost.
You hang it
like,
with
a
creative
lot of-
types now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
you know
almost
what?
as
I
bad.
win way more chess games now. Way more chess. Okay.
Oh,
so, oddly enough, we played the same amount of music. They like music too. So the proof for Fermat's last theorem, you could probably find a copy of it, but yeah, someone won a huge prize in order to do that. It was very complicated.
I don't think that's, regardless, a good way to show someone love. I'm going to say
It's really impressive though.
chocolates, wine, and a hand massage because meatballs at IKEA are overrated and terrible.
Oh, well.
I don't know. I love a good trip. Like, you don't have the 50-cent hot dogs on there though. Like 50-cent hot dog and 75-cent ice cream. That's the only reason to go to IKEA. Other than that, it's just like marriage breaking. But then at the end, you're like, I have my cheap hot dog and ice cream. It's all good again. We don't have to break up.
I can still afford these after the divorce.
I'll say all of the above because my advanced NPC programming tells me that's probably the answer.
Oh.
And you have found the correct answer.
Oh.
I'm
as
advancing
determined
forward in
by
my
me,
AI programming.
Which is, I like all of the above. So
Yes,
therefore that is
yeah.
the answer.
Wait.
I mean, to be fair, I'm gonna make myself right here. I said it depends on who you're doing, which means it is all of those are options.
Yeah.
And what am I proving here? Because I feel like I'm trailing. And am I proving that I'm real and an idiot? Because no one would program this much of an idiot.
Hey man, we all take arrows to the knees.
I was an adventurer once.
I think it's important to challenge your concept of reality as a what is the definition? You know what? I have something to say about that, but I'll tell you later.
2 weeks.
Okay,
What?
maybe the people at home also guessed all of the above. Maybe my sister, because she probably knows me.
Or expressed it in a different way that essentially means the same thing because you're more creative than the robot over there.
Oh,
I am robot, insert girder.
Bender. I guess a kinky robot as well. If you found out you were plugged in and everyone and everything but you was simulated, would you alter how you behave?
yeah,
example?
take down the system.
You take down the system.
I would collapse the system. That's rude.
You wouldn't like. It's rude.
It's rude to like
politeness
make my
reasons?
family members and loved ones not real. That's
Like
super rude.
Nothing is.
Just me?
Yeah.
I'd be like, I did this. That's rude. I should stop doing that. Like, why would I create a
But it
system
wouldn't.
just for me?
But it's not rude because they wouldn't know. No one else.
No,
would
I know, but whoever did that was being rude. Like, that's a rude thing to do to somebody. Like, convince them that everything is real and then be like, ha ha, nope. And you'd be like, whoa. Like, seriously broke my trust there. Like, that is, like, beyond.
So would would you inform them?
The
That I
NPCs?
knew?
Yeah.
Or the people who designed it.
Like the people you care about.
Oh,
obviously, like
no,
you're talking
probably
about
not.
friends and
They
family.
totally have a trip, man. Like,
Yeah,
my
they just think you're
family
crazy.
are simple folk. Like, I love them to death, but like, you know, I don't need to like blow their world wide open by telling them that it's not real because I'll end up in a worse place knowing full well that this simulation was built for me and I failed the game. And
What
there
if
just
you-
isn't a restart.
What if you couldn't crash it or couldn't leave? Like you found out you just like it was
Man,
information was given to you. You're confirmed.
question's
this is
really
a simulation.
hard.
Would you become less risk averse? Like jump off a
and
bridge,
just kill
see what
myself.
happens? That's what I mean. Like jump off a bridge, see what happens.
I don't know.
I'm just
think
like,
so.
what would be the point of going
I would
on?
assume I'd
If
died
I
before.
if I decided to continue, I would not really change the way I do things because most of my interactions with other human beings are about efficiency and having everybody just like, let's do things with the minimum of problem. And, you know, so that means being civil to people, even if you think they're a fucking idiot, because it's just easier to get on with your life.
It's actually very nice a lot of the time. I think you're
Because it facilitates more better interactions.
Trying the grind. He's grinding his social skills right now. We've all played The Sims, dude. Like, sometimes you gotta throw a party and invite your neighbor. That guy
He's
sucks.
logged so many hours in Sims. Like, how many hours have you been playing with dolls?
I started playing during quarantine, and I have logged about 1,000 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
It's pretty impressive.
It's impressive.
But I think there is something about the idea of simulated reality. And I was talking to Ruby earlier, who people might have, if you tuned in on like really a little bit early, you'd see her
Yeah.
helping out
She
with
was
our-
also on Whatever Happens, Happens.
Oh yeah, she was on recently.
Yeah.
Being a complete weirdo because she's great. And
And the Canadian Heritage Seconds still
Oh,
show.
so
Wasn't she in a one-shot or not recently?
She was.
okay,
a
guys,
few weeks
yes,
ago.
Ruby's great. She's in everything. Just like I have a point to make. She was talking about The Sims and how she like when she plays it, she finds that she plays it when she's in a spot in her life where she'd like a little bit of feeling of control.
Yeah. Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, so she uses it to get that feeling. When I play Sims, I feel like I have no control, and they're all like peeing themselves, and everything's a mess.
That's because you were like, I'm gonna make a character that is a vampire or wants to become a vampire, so is living in the vampire area, getting a vampire boyfriend, trying to balance that whole thing, while also living in a haunted house.
Yes.
So everything, and wants 2 cats, which are friggin' terrified all the time and running away because you live in a haunted house.
Yes, they have run away a lot. Both my cats and my boyfriend run away a lot.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe if you like separated those things, you'd have a little more control.
Nope.
Control over the story.
Okay, so we've talked about NPCs in a simulation.
You didn't answer the question.
whatnot.
If
Which
you
question?
would change your life if you found out it was a simulation.
Oh,
I don't think you can move on from this until you tell us.
I would certainly do some sort of experimentations. Like I would start
You're gonna Groundhog Day it up.
doing some weird shit. Yeah. Well, I mean, part of what I was gonna say is you said I might just kill myself, but what if you just reset to like the last checkpoint?
Well, hopefully I wouldn't remember and it'd all be good.
No, you'd have full knowledge.
Well, then I'd start having some fun.
Okay, sweet. Nice. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, my instinct would be like, well, if it's just me here, there doesn't seem to be a point in like.
We all
whatever.
said we
But
played
like, if I
GTA.
came back, then I'm in a video game, and then it's time to have some fun because
Yeah.
clearly I still have more lives left.
Would you be nice to the NPCs?
I'm always nice to the NPCs because I like to play my games as my imaginary hero self.
Oh. I think I'd become a bit more of a wild card. Like I would just be. I have weird urges that I control because I'm part of a society.
Can't move my chair far.
And
away.
that's fair. and I would stop restraining them. I would like listen to whatever weird impulses popped up. They're not that bad. They would probably get worse as I started to listen to them. It's not voices in my head. It's just like
Anybody who says it's
usually
not voices
no, it's
in
not.
my head.
It's not like an actual
Still
different voice.
concerning.
It's just
I don't
thoughts.
mean you, Steve.
Yeah. We'll talk later.
Wait,
I'm sure this is probably common,
not
but
everybody talks to a voice in their head.
No, I don't talk to a voice. I talk to myself. Like,
That's
and
an
it's
interesting
usually
point,
just
too.
like thought processes.
Okay.
But like,
I
like if
To
I'm in
myself,
a,
I run conversations with other people so that I don't have to do them in real life. Because I can generally predict what people are going to say because people aren't all that interesting.
That's great.
But
because
if
we're
I,
all NPCs.
yeah, and if I don't think I can predict that, then I'll do the conversation in real life. But like, I've convinced myself of somebody else's argument because I just had the conversation in my head rather than like
Like, oh,
doing
they
it
made a
with
good
them.
point.
And I'm like, they have good points, clearly. I'm going to change.
But sorry, just to explain these impulses so that you're not scared. Is
scared.
like if I'm at a funeral.
What?
Yeah. If I'm at a funeral and everyone's super quiet and somber,
Are you
there's
sorry
something
or
in my
are you
head that
apologizing?
makes me want to go, "Ah!" Like just make a crazy noise because everyone's so fucking like, breaking that silence. There's something about it. Doing something outside of what's acceptable. What is that sound? What was that?
It's a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, I'm out of here. It's all a fucking. But yeah,
Other reality is leaking in.
it's weird shit like that I would do. I would probably.
Yeah.
flip more people off. I would probably
Take it easy.
I would actually spit on all the people I want to spit on when they piss me off.
Like that kind of stuff. I do more of those things, and I would also understand that they're still programmed to react, right? But I'd be ready for that. And I would accept consequences, and I wouldn't give a
Must be
shit
good
about
at video
outcomes.
games. I'm terrible. Yeah.
My concern
Trying to find a
is
way to
that
unplug the machine.
there are still NPC police officers around, and I don't want my simulation to be of a prison cell.
Right, yeah, exactly. You don't want to
Right?
end
Like,
up in a
that's
worse
gonna
place.
suck.
Yeah.
And they actively try and stop you from it resetting. the
If whoever
game.
programmed that let the gap in the programming that I could know that everybody else was programming, they deserve to be shut off. Like, that is just so lazy.
Did you play Portal?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you find the back area and
Yeah,
you're like, yes, I'm in.
I
This
did
is the
it.
game.
You idiots. I'm much better than you and much smarter, and it's just so gratifying. And you're just like, you get there and you're just like, yeah, thanks, programmers. You did that for me.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
gave that for me. You left that one for me.
So, as I mentioned at the top of the thing, when prompted, is you guys have all designed NPCs when DMing games and stuff. So,
Or The Sims.
yeah,
That's what happened.
what do you do to make them unique and not feel like? Do you care, or like do you have stuff? Actually, what's more interesting is when you have an NPC that you didn't anticipate needing to utilize, like something that like the players are like, I'm gonna go into this alley, and then you just like come up with like, okay, well there's a fucking guy there, and then it
Right.
becomes a big deal. How do you deal with that, and what do you have any go-tos to flesh out that NPC?
I like to have a list of potential names that would make sense in the area, so I don't end up with things like Mork and Bork.
It was Bork and Zork.
It was Bork and Zork. It is Bork and Zork.
Whatever.
And they came back.
You're welcome.
I don't know. When it's someone that's just happening on the fly, you kind of just got to see where it goes and who does that person become. And that really happens with a lot of my NPCs. But I usually try and they've got whatever goal there is that relates to the characters, and then I usually give them something else as well.
Okay.
So that when the characters do something I don't expect, I have a better idea of how the NPC would react to that based on other things in their lives without having to actually create a whole life for everybody.
Right. Yeah, it'd be impossible to create everybody in like
Yeah.
a city and who they're going to interact with. I could have come up with a few like archetypes that I think my group will enjoy or like really connect with. And I just kind of play to that. If they do something unexpected, I'll take that situation and take like 2 or 3 of those archetypes and kind of like roll them into this scenario. So like Matt, I have like a list of like names that I'll just be like that and that. Like that's their name. It's your job to remember it. I don't need to know it.
Until you do.
Yeah. Luckily most of it's recorded at this stage of my life, so it's easy to go back. But like, I try and make. I try not to make complicated characters. I guess this bleeds into my PCs as well. Like I try to not to make complicated characters, but characters with complications. So like, oh, they're gonna meet this character in an alley. Well, what's the complication of somebody's life who lurks in alleys? That's gonna be the player's problem now because they made this NPC my problem. So it's just like, okay, like you wanna deviate from the story, great. Here's this guy's problem. You were so interested, help this person in their life, or solve a problem for them because that's the connection that you can create. And all of a sudden these characters just have depth and the players will do almost all the work for you and like they'll interpret this character for you. So then you just kind of make it who that NPC is, which is something that a simulation could never do.
Unless it was a really good simulation.
Unless it was a super good limitless
Which it would
simulation.
have to be in order for like.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd have to be an unimaginably complex futurist. It'd be the whole like it's magic, right? Like it.
Right.
We can't possibly comprehend how complex it would have to be.
And
so
as
it's
to
magic.
Roz's point, it was just like once you get there, what's the point? Like, great, it's a simulation. Congratulations, you cracked the code. Onwards. Like, I can't change shit.
Tonight it's mac and cheese.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I guess I'll press that button. If somebody's playing, please do better. I don't know, like.
One of my favorite things, and I take this away from a group that I was in where we did writing about comic books and reviewing comic books, and it was a ladies group called the Sequential Tarts. And one of the other writers and interviewers, Suzette, has a favorite thing that she likes to call the secret life of characters.
Okay.
And I've translated that into being a DM. And so when you design an NPC, especially one who's reasonably important, that your characters are going to have to interact with, they need to have a secret life. The side of their life that they don't want to share with the players, but there are clues in the room or the space they occupy or what they're wearing and things about them that are clues to their secret life. And if you talked to them enough or you became friends with them, they would start to reveal things about their secret life that they try to hold back, because we all do this in our normal lives. And when I am generating a character who's a really throw-off NPC, the only way that I found for myself that works to easily do that is I give them all a trinket. And it's something that you can do really easily. There's lots of
Like you give all the random NPCs
all my
trinkets?
random NPCs have a trinket.
Oh.
And because it's something that you just roll on a table, and then it says they've got a fossilized corpse of a mouse in their pocket. And then that immediately
That's
tells
pretty
me...
defining.
But it immediately gives me so much stuff
It's
to work
Ash.
with. Like, why did they keep that?
So far, Ash is the only one that's been confirmed real here, so.
Yeah. Oh, I know, but she's got a real thing for bones.
I'm not the only one.
You're the only one on the show right now.
When I was a kid, I had a book with instructions. It was like be a naturalist as a kid, but it had instructions on how to skin and remove the skin and stuff from like a mouse, and what sort of bugs and stuff to get it down to like an articulated skeleton. Which was always very exciting when we were in biology, because you go into the zoology department and it'd be kind of smelly, but they'd totally be doing that. People bring a roadkill and they're like, all right, throw it in the bug jar. And then,
Is the bug jar where they just like let stuff deteriorate?
Yeah.
there are specific insects that they use that will just strip everything off except for the bones.
Like the scarabs from the mummy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like going over to that side of the building. Matt went there a lot, and I was always just like, I don't want to walk into a lab where suddenly someone's going to be like, oh, that's the snake, don't worry about it. And I was like, well,
Canopic jars.
I'd like to know about those things before I walk into your office.
There's just a snake? Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be freaky.
No. They're so nice.
You'd also go into their freezers and thered just be like dead things in their freezers.
Yeah, lots of big dead things. And small dead things. You know what? Just lots of things.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned the 1,000 hours in Sims. I don't know how much of a gamer you are. Have you logged like a shitload of hours in
Yeah, like
games?
a grossly another deep secret of mine would be Civilizations 5.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that earlier too.
Logged several thousand hours in there.
Okay.
And it is just like that moment in your life where you're like, it's like 100 days without sleep.
So when you think about like
I mean, it's like a 14-year-old game, so I didn't feel that bad. But
has
like,
everyone
wow.
here seen Unreal 5? Like just the footage from like Unreal
Yes.
5 engine and how good those worlds are starting
Yeah,
to look.
I've seen it in motion, like in the 3D, like what the system is
Yeah,
capable of.
and
I've
it's fucking
been
wild.
firsthand doing
And
it.
that's
It's
only just
really
where we're
awesome.
at now. And we know that technology keeps getting better and better. So considering that like something like The Sims you're logging that much hours on, I've certainly logged a ton of hours into stuff. What would it take? What kind of a game? Because like if this is a simulation, it's a shitty fucking game. Like Life on Earth is not the game. It's not a game I want to play.
If it's a
Like-
simulation, it's an experiment.
Sure. Like, and then all of us would be NPCs, and there's someone just trying to see what happens. Like, what's the end result if I run this program? Oh, they all fucking nuked each other. Like,
Just because if it wasn't an experiment, it depends. If it's just you in the simulation versus if everybody is
it's like
some
cosmic
sort of artificial intelligence or whatever.
comedy.
Yeah, if it's just you,
Brutal.
no, either way, no matter what, I think it would be an experiment. Otherwise, why would you
Well, it could
Like-
be Roy from Rick and Morty, a life well lived.
Right.
Yeah.
Where it happens in a matter of minutes in real time, but you're actually experiencing a person's entire life from birth to death. And
Totally.
in the
God, you
span
went
of
back to
minutes.
work at the carpet store?
Yeah, I know, right? What a stupid choice. But okay, what kind of a game would it take for you to like shunt real life, what we consider real life? Like everything around you, you're just like, I'm committing to this, like Ready Player One, where the world is kind of shit, and regardless of where you stand in the real world, everyone's living for the game. What kind of a game would you start to, if there was an economy within the game and you could just like,
You could effectively exist
Live there.
within in it.
yeah, what kind of game would hold an appeal to
Can you give us an example? Like, what would yours be?
I need some sort of superpowers, or I need some sort of like advanced skills that this body's limitations don't allow me to do.
Okay.
I don't want to just be like walking around slow. Like I want to be able to fly.
I have to
or-
be able to jump.
Yeah,
You know,
like-
like nothing's
yeah.
worse than a game that you can't fucking
I need
jump.
to be able to
Like-
go up the stairs to the
something.
office.
Like without getting winded. Like what a shitty program. If this is a
No,
simulation.
we're just all super low level guys. That's really what the problem
Why
is.
can't I level up? For 38 years.
Okay, so you want to be extraordinary.
Yeah, like that would hold appeal to me. To like DC Universe is the game that I've definitely logged the most hours in. I got to create my own superhero.
Oh, no.
And what?
I know what mine is.
Oh, okay. But like that kind of a thing. It doesn't have to be a superhero. I just need something more than something removed from what my experience to this point has been. So
I
can
want to be
play
able
an
to do
alien.
something I can't do in real life.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why wouldn't I just stay in real life? Like,
Yes.
it's probably more comfortable, be fewer bed sores.
I've already paid the season pass.
No bed sores. I'm pretty lazy, but like, I don't like to perambulate.
I can't believe you used the word perambulate.
Yeah. I thought of it the other day and was like, I gotta find time to use
Wait,
that.
perambulate just means walk, right?
It means move around.
Yeah. Okay.
So I also have logged some significant hours in Civilization. I don't think as much as Alex upstairs. Alex. But I also, I've also logged quite a few hours in Tropico. So I'm pretty sure that if I could do anything, I would like to be a dictator.
Mandatory fun.
Mandatory fun. That just suits me, guys. And
That's interesting.
I
Oh
know.
my god.
And
And you moved away from me because I want to yell out at inappropriate times at funerals.
I just want to be in charge.
I just want to rule with an iron fist. Is that so wrong?
I don't kill everyone in that game. Sometimes,
Just your enemies or people who question your authority?
you know what? You don't have to kill them. You can just eject them and then ruin their families'
And
lives.
throw them in the gulag.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
It's great.
Jesus. So,
I mean,
okay.
the only people you'd be doing that to are people who are obviously wrong and bad.
To you.
They disagree.
Right,
Yeah.
your perceived
I
reality, which
obviously
is
know
what this
best.
episode's about.
Jesus Christ. Due process, man. Due
Tim?
process. Holy shit.
What game would?
What do you want to play if you could play a game in this life?
Yeah, what would ruin your life? What game would ruin your life and like this life?
I think it would be a
set.
game that is like advanced space travel discovery, but not as clangy as Space Engineers or as clunky as No Man's Sky. Like, it'd be a game where I could like first person without technological limitations, like discover and explore other planets, and just travel freely through space with like little consequence other than like
possibilities, you're saying.
general like. I'm based on my knowledge, I have to survive. Like, it's those like kind of survival sci-fi games that just really suck me in. Games like Space Engineers they just suck me in because it's just like, oh, I gotta like build this thing in order to survive, and I gotta like figure out how to get the resources and put it all together. And it's just like there's a problem-solving aspect, there's limitless possibilities that I will never live to see, like humans expanding into space. It was just like what I hoped the world to be. Like, I grew up as a kid like dreaming of like 90s 50s year 2000. Like when, we were just like going to the moon, whatever, doesn't matter. Like other planets, like we're on the brink. Like I wanted to be there when they found FTL and the Vulcans showed up and we're just like, child. And I was just like, yes, right? And like, that's where I would love to be, like in that day and age, like that time. What was it, 21, 40 something?
What?
In Star Trek. When they first discovered FTL.
First contact?
First contact.
What year did First Contact take
what
place?
year did
Zephram
I
Cochrane.
thought you would know.
When
that.
did Zephram Cochrane?
I thought you were the starship we all needed.
Okay, so actually this leads into what would ruin my life in like the video game that I would go into for like forever.
Sure, chime in.
Is infinitely attainable knowledge.
Right.
Because I have some like brain blockages that make learning for me really difficult sometimes, like book reading. I can't retain information from it. So learning a lot of things has always been fairly difficult unless it's a hands-on project. So if there was like something where I could get infinite knowledge and retain it.
So the Matrix. Like,
So
like
basically
you want to be
Matrix,
able to
yeah.
jack in and like, I know Kung Fu.
Oh man.
She wants to
Oh,
know
that's
more
a
than Kung
dream.
Fu because
Yeah.
the Matrix is
What?
dumb and it's like Kung Fu. Like, why wouldn't you learn more things? Like,
Because he has to go fist fight fucking, because it's entertaining. Because it's entertaining. Because it's a movie.
I accept that.
Yeah.
If I could
2063.
instantly like jack in
2063.
and learn like actual, not just information, but like actual like now I have muscle memory. Yeah, it would be. I would become phenomenally good at guitar, and then I would be like some kung fu badass. Totally.
Why is it?
Fuck
why,
that Kung Fu badass.
why would
Actually,
you
I
could pick
wouldn't go Kung
anything.
Fu.
You
It
would
wouldn't
pick, you could be like, I would like to download all martial arts. Like, why pick one?
I would
That's
like
so
to
stupid.
download.
Because Kung Fu is superior. No, I'm kidding.
I would go straight for the like. I need to know how to program the Matrix.
Yeah. That's
Give me that
That's
right
some
now.
meta
Fucking,
level
I don't
shit.
need to know kung fu. I need
Yeah.
to know how to like
alter code.
backspace
Yeah.
slash.
I need to start with C++. Let's go C++ and we'll go from there. What's up?
Tim has so much computer knowledge.
More proving you're real from Roz.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay. Wait, before we get there. Oh shit, never mind, I forgot. Go.
Okay, so you're not real for sure.
I just glitched.
Faulty NPC.
I just glitched. Today I am.
Hey,
There-
you.
My man.
I remember. Oh, good. You're awake.
No, I remember what. It was when you had about the programming for learning guitar. Have you seen that they've created a thing for people, they record people who can play piano, and then you wear this rig with like electrodes that zap you and give you, so like you can literally sit at a fucking piano and it moves your fingers. And if you wear it while sleeping, you remember the code to like the muscle memory of
It's
playing
like Venture
piano.
Bros.
So they're starting to develop like electroshock.
Deep cut.
But they're creating a thing that basically takes that ability and can give you the muscle memory of it through electro stimulation.
It would give you the muscle memory to play a song. It wouldn't teach
Sure.
you how to play piano.
No, it wouldn't. But play a song, and you could just keep doing more and more songs.
I mean, everybody needs to know
you can't do
Wonderwall.
jazz.
It'd be a hell of a party trick.
Check this out, guys. Like putting your gloves on, like fuck.
Love to see that at a party.
That would be great. That would be great.
That would be way better than some dude just picking up an acoustic
Hey guys, you
guitar
want to turn the
and
music
strumming
down?
Wonderwall.
I got my guitar. Feel the wonder.
Oh no! Wait, we can't afford that.
It's okay, that one didn't remotely sound like that. He sings songs like you do.
So, on purpose, off key. No, I'm just terrible.
Yeah, that's always my intention. I'm not tone deaf at all.
Yeah.
Guys are-
It's not that you just can't remember a melody.
Wait. I want to find out if you guys are real. So earlier,
Nope.
I'm always laughing at Matt for using what we would call fun words.
Perambulate is a
Perambulate?
lot more fun to say than walk around.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, an extensive knowledge of things is an important part of thinking about whether or not you're real, because you could literally be programmed with all knowledge versus a limited amount. And and NPCs get to decide with different things. So I've provided you with a word that I don't think any of you know. What does this totally real word? What does this totally real word, titty nope, mean?
Titty nope?
Yes. Is it A, a scattering of leftover things, B, a tropical fish, or 3, a loop form?
I think I'm being sexual harassment.
You would like to submit a fourth answer. I see. So, friends, I bring to you this question.
Scattering of leftover things, a tropical fish?
And
Or a
obviously the people in the chat are probably answering because they are probably searching the word online. Dangerous! Dangerous! I did this on purpose. So that you can search this and then regret yourself later.
Scattering of leftover
Yes.
things. A titty nope of
What do you think? What do you think, Trevor, a titty nope means? What do you
It's
have?
either 1 or 3. I don't think it's a tropical fish. It doesn't sound tropical.
It doesn't, hey?
Scattering.
Okay.
Titty nope. Titty nope.
Maybe if you say it slightly British, it helps.
Yeah. Oh, you have
yeah?
to. For
Okay.
a word like titty nope, it's got to be a titty nope. I'm gonna go with scattering of leftover things.
Okay, and over here.
Loop formed in a quarter rope.
Yeah. Thank you. Covering the bases.
I mean,
Sailors say weird things.
yeah, that's very true. That's got me hung up. But tropical fish is also something sailors would say. Like,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
that called?
Nuka,
A
nuka,
titty
nuka,
nope,
nuka.
you fucking idiot. Like,
I mean, a titwillow is a bird.
yeah.
Titty nope.
They're actually like, oh
Is that a
my
titty?
God.
Nope.
Titwillow, titmouse.
Just for fun, I guess, and just to prove that the three of us are likely NPCs, I will take option 2. Just
There
to
you go.
Mix it up and
Okay,
give the
so
player
each of you have
as many
selected
choices.
one. Clever. So this time, rather than going none of the answers, one of the answers is indeed correct.
Oh, and it actually is correct?
That is correct.
This is a real, not made up word?
This is a totally real word.
A titty nope.
So if you had a collection of crumbs at the side of your plate, you have a titty nope. It is a scattering of leftover things.
Yes!
Yes.
I am a human. I am a real official human.
You are less than 50% accurate on what it is to make a real human.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think knowing that was the proof that you're an artificial intelligence.
Shit.
You've been provided that information by the Matrix.
I was the programmer showed up drunk that day when they made me. Oh, fuck.
That's a funny part too, though. Sometimes I think that when I make up my weirdest NPCs is when they seem the most real.
Yeah.
Of course, because we're imperfect.
Because we are a collection of random, just
Experiences
a
and genetics.
just a shirt storm of weirdness and things that have
Shirt
happened
storm.
to us throughout our lives.
Yeah, we're just a titty nope of all the happenstance that
Yeah,
happened.
pretty much. Yeah. We are the titty nope.
Eat your heart out, the Matrix.
The what?
Yeah, that thing you don't know about anymore because someone deleted it from your memory.
I just want the steak.
Ow, ow. It's funny that blue pill, I can't say words, becomes such a thing that all the time. But do you know which is which?
Ooh, good
Do you
question.
remember? Do you take the red pill
I
to
think
go
the
back
red pill
or the
was-
blue pill?
I think the red pill was wake up. That's what I remember of the movie I haven't watched in years.
Do you guys remember?
Red pill, blue pill?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't remember. I think it's the blue pill. I'm trying to remember that excellent shot in Morpheus's glasses with his hand extended, which is one of the
Yeah.
best shots in that movie.
Because that movie's kind of not that great. There's like one.
Why?
We're gonna
You're
fight about
kind
this
of
later.
not that great.
Yeah. Says her partner, folks.
Yeah.
No, your argument for that movie's not that great is always just you saying repeatedly that movie's not that great. Which
I gotta say, production design, costumes were really fucking cool, and movies started to look like that for a reason because the scenic painters on their ship was the Nebuchadnezzar was absolutely, bar none, one of the coolest
I don't
spaceships
disagree
ever designed.
That they
It was
tapped into
so
something
visceral.
that audiences really wanted.
it was dope as fuck.
The audiences who were willing to spend money to see that movie over and over, they nailed you. They
I don't think I
got
saw it in theaters more than once, but I certainly watched it more
definitely
than once.
I started my first job ever was at the movie theater, Cineplex Odeon in Edmonton, when the second one came out. It was like right before the second one came out.
Oh, no.
I saw it an untold amount of times. And I still kind of like got a kick out of it because they set in forth like a premise that was completely unsequelable, that like a character within that system can do whatever they want within that system, and they managed to like make it a little bit challenging. And then in the second one, they're like, oh, real world problems, and they were just like, no, you guys, no.
That's why the third one's the best.
Yeah.
Did we answer the red pill, blue pill thing?
No, you guys avoided it entirely.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
said I think it's the red pill.
Ash, what does chat think?
I'm gonna want to take the blue pill because blue is better than red.
So you're just gonna go straight up.
Josh
color.
says, why oh why didn't I take the blue pill? Cypher. Yeah. So the blue was stay in the Matrix, the red was wake up.
That doesn't make sense to me at all.
Well, no, red is brutal. Like that's the
Red is stop.
brutality of leaving that reality, right? Like you
Red
said it
is
yourself.
bad, and staying in the Matrix is bad in the
No,
ethos
but
of
you
that film.
you say, yeah, I know, but you, like blue is easy, red is intense.
Yeah, that's true. And red is stop the fake world. I want to wake up. I want to be a real person. I want to eat slop and learn kung fu.
Well, you're not going to learn kung fu if you get out of reality, the Matrix.
Yeah, that's when he learns kung fu because they have the like.
He doesn't learn
the
it.
upload.
He just gets programmed to understand
Yeah,
it.
he can't do it in real life. He can only do it in the Matrix.
Oh, that's some bullshit. He should be able to do it in real life as well.
Well, muscle
Why?
memory exists. You can't just
He
have.
wouldn't
information
necessarily
to do
have
things.
the strongest punch, but he would know the mechanics. There's
Are,
technique.
are you able
Technique
to do
is
everything
different.
that your video game characters can do? Like when you play,
No, but I don't know. Okay, no.
I
That's,
played through
no,
the
no.
tutorial.
No. that. Have you ever studied martial arts at all?
mildly,
Okay, because you can learn a technique. You can know where your feet need to be. You can know. It's not just muscle memory. You can know a thing, and then you need to actually physically practice to develop muscle.
every
memory.
time I've actually tried to do it, when you're in the scenario of like practicing by yourself, and then you get into actual combat attempt, it's always very different.
Well, yeah, you always have
And
a game
I'm
plan until you
very
hit the
bad.
face. Oh, yeah, that's fair. Okay, we've run out of time, people. It goes real quick when you're bullshit and having fun. So thank
Yeah,
you
it
guys for
does.
being here. I really appreciate it. That was a lot of
Didn't
fun.
come up with a trivia question. We didn't even get to ask.
That's
Yeah,
chat's
no
fault.
one redeemed.
Next
Chat's
time.
fault.
I might have to lower the price of the What's in the Box redemption because no one's redeemed it for a couple episodes. So thank you guys, and thank you guys for being here. And I didn't write down what's coming out next week. So until next time.
Hey, one shot.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, Tuesday, one shot or not. Capri
Yeah.
is DMing a one shot with us, which is going to be awesome. So tune in on Tuesday for that. And until then, stay filthy. Oh, next week is fucking